All right, let's go. You already know this is the DC Incentives podcast. This is another episode of us, and I would say this is a bonus episode, honestly. So, since this is Black History Month, let's do something on Black stuff. So, we have Nyron,
Hello.
and then we got the bird in the background.
Nugo and Kugo, that's right.
And then we got TC.
What's up, guys?
Oh, okay. So happy Black History Month, everyone. So while you're listening or watching this and everything, first I would like to say, what's up, Xavier?
You on mute.
You're on mute.
We still can't hear you.
You're on mute.
For our listeners, we have a fourth guest coming in. There's audio issues.
Well, technically, Xavier's not a guest. She's part of the team.
True.
She's a videographer. So
Yeah.
every time when we every time when in person, when we do the podcast in person, she is behind the scenes.
Thanks to her.
Yeah. Of the podcast. So other than that, we can get started on Black History stuff. So what do you love, since we're all Black African Americans? Tell me, what do you love about your Blackness? Me, I love my Blackness because I'm just Black. I'm just is. I love being Black.
Man, let me tell you why I like being Black. I feel exclusive. Nobody can ever be us. You understand? And the amount of history that we have just with this skin color alone is beautiful.
Facts.
You know? It kind of sucks. Life is a little harder. That's why I'm not gonna try to skip that at shit's tough. It's like the hard mode of video games, you know? But something about Blackness is just beautiful. We are strong individuals. And especially Black women, don't even get started on that. They queens, man. You know? I have no regrets being this skin color. If they tell me I could do it over again, like which color you want to be, I said I'll be Black again. Yeah. I might say Asian just to see how I look. I'm just kidding. But all seriousness, I love being Black. It's not much to it.
Of course. We the ones that build everything. We build everything United States. Right? Facts. We can go on and on. We are always, like Paul Mooney said it too. In this generation, we are the most copied culture in the world.
Oh yeah.
Period.
When it comes to clothes, music, even how we dress, we have a distinctive style that a lot of people's even copying now.
Yep.
So that's why I say we're such an exclusive brand, because it's like everybody wants to be us,
but nobody wants to be us.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. You see, the bird agreed too. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Talk to me, Nyron.
I love being Black because I don't have a choice. It's not like I could just get up. Like I could just get up and change it to a different skin. I love our aesthetic, you know. I love the shapes of our noses and our lips, and our stereotypical build. I love that we've been sun-kissed, even if we're not on the continent. Even if we're not born on the continent, you know, the sun stays with us wherever we go, from the moment we're born until we die. And just to piggyback off of what Troy said, I love our history. We have a rich, rich history. It's not just about slavery. There are ancient civilizations from Kush to um, the ancient civilizations in Ghana, the Mali Empire, the Egyptian Empire, because ancient Egypt and Egypt is an African country, despite what you might learn from, that's us as well.
And I hate, I not that I hate it, but I don't like when they say we are Egyptians, then we are the Judaism, and it's like we're all just like black people because Judaism and Egyptians are black. Same thing as Native Americans. Yeah, exactly. Same thing as Native Americans. So I think we got to stop this separation. Honestly.
Like, I get it, because out of all the countries in Africa, I guess they stand out the most because, let's say, Egyptians and Moroccans, they follow more like Arabic kind of styles of living. You know, maybe that's why they're separated. But I get what you're saying. Even with South Africa, even though that's
no, just to go back to the history of Africa. I mean, the richest man to ever walk the face of the earth was a black man, Mansa Musa of the Mali Empire. Africans have had a huge impact and a huge influence on European culture, specifically the Moors, when they conquered the Iberia Peninsula, Portugal and Spain, and their influence is still felt to this day. Of course, you have the beautiful languages of Africa, from Kiswahili to Yoruba to Osa. All those languages, if you just listen to the way that they sound, it's like music to your ears almost. And just to know that you're part of that is something that could swell you with pride. You just have to know about it. You have to have the access to know about it, and that's why I love being black.
Absolutely. Just think about it real quick. Just think about. Matter of fact, I don't even want to think about it, but it's like it's the reason why, like, when we built this country, like our ancestors built this country because they know our worth. They know they can't do it, so they be like, all right, you know what? They know our worth. There's a reason why. They know our worth. We are black for a reason. We are the originals, correct?
Yeah, we are the first. And you know what? Here's an interesting black fact. Africans and people of African descent are the most genetically diverse people on the face of the planet.
Let's go.
And it's because we've been around the longest. And when human beings spread out to other parts of the globe, from Europe to Asia, and I think maybe even parts of Australia, I'm not too sure, they sort of commingled with the other hominins that were still around, the Neanderthals in Europe and Asia. And it would not be uncommon if you took the strand of the DNA and examined it to find, if you are of European descent, like I think all the way up to like 2 to 3% Neanderthal DNA. But if you were born in Africa, or if you have just pure African ancestry, you'll find no strands of any other hominid DNA. If you are African and purely African, you are the most pure human on the face of the planet, just from a genetic perspective. It's very ironic that
when you say it like that, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
It's very ironic that we are dehumanized the most when you could argue that we are the most human of every race. So it's another reason why I love being black.
Yeah, like kind of like what you said, we everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere. Like, look at DR. That's back to us, the Spanish. You understand? You know, even though they don't claim it. But
Paul Mooney said it best: Latinos are nothing more than black people that can swim.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty
much.
Yeah.
Push come to shove, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are Latino, Afro Latino, Puerto Rican, that just know that you are black too, even though
Yes.
some deny that, but it is a fact. You are black too.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I'm Afro Latino. My mother's from Panama, and when we grew up, she never gave us an option to look at us as anything other than black. She knew her blackness, embraced her blackness, and she passed that down onto us.
And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't a lot of Jamaicans went to Panama also to help build the Panama Canal, something like that?
Not only Jamaicans, people from all parts of the Caribbean island. My great grandparents were from Barbados, and they left Barbados to work on the Panama Canal and lived in Panama, and had their children and eventually my mother.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's amazing how the blackness of us, like even we get just the sun, like like the sun reflecting on us is just shining on our skin, like amazing.
Yeah. And this isn't to denigrate any other race. I mean, humanity is diverse and beautiful and complicated.
Absolutely.
But I think for Black History Month, I think it's imperative that we just embrace and highlight who we are as Africans.
Yes.
That's what this podcast was about.
I'd rather us call us Black kings and queens.
Mhm.
I find that incredibly corny. I'm not,
but I'm saying I'd rather us call us, hey, come here, king. Hey, queen, how you doing?
Yeah, I hate
It
that.
depends how you say it, though. 'Cause everybody don't have. You see how you say it? You have a little swag with it. You got somebody in the background. What's up, king? How you doing, queen? It's just like, fix your posture. What are you talking about? Don't call me that. Everybody can say it. Diamond can say it.
No, I'm just saying,
I don't like it when anybody calls me king. Like, yo, what's up? How do you know?
I just put the mean shit. What do you mean? Like, kings don't do that.
The odds of you being descended from a king, it's very, very, very small.
Well,
if you're coming from work and you just tired, you just have 9 to 5. I said, Brian, ain't no king right now. What you
Right. I work kings don't know anything about a 9 to 5.
I mean, we're passed down through hundreds of generations.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to look at like thousands of years ago, like looking into your roots.
And especially Naira, me and you, like since we have Caribbean in us, history alone, who knows what happened during that timeline.
Yeah.
No, I mean our last names are European for a reason,
Yeah. But it's Pain. Pain is European.
Say that again.
My last name Pain, is that European?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Pain is European, but we're not going to get into that.
No, honestly, I just thought like a black man in a house this one day be like, Pain. Yeah. Martha.
Our first name is from our parents.
But even that's European.
Yeah, but my first name is European for sure. Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I still love being black. So.
Oh yeah. I know. Even that way in Europe. So.
Word. All right, so I'm gonna get into some things for our audience for Black History Month that is not popular. So first, I want to bring out, let's see, an African American man that built the top of the Capitol Hill. His name is Philip Reed. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can share my screen. Hold up. Let me see. Let me see.
Porn first. You got to close out all the porn. Make sure we don't see that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right, Nyron. Whatever. So let's see. All right. So y'all see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the statue of freedom. And this is what Philip Reed built an African American man. So this, I'm looking online, everyone. So this is, Philip Reed. So pretty much this statue is this represents freedom. Okay. So since this statue represents freedom, Philip Reed, of course, he was enslaved. Y'all can look this up on www.eoc.gov, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, everyone, but pretty much Philip Reed made $1.25 when he was building that dome of the Capitol Hill. Mind you, this is an enslaved black person that built the Capitol Hill on top of the dome, and when he built that, it was a woman with a dress, a black symbol. Picture it, a black symbol on top of a Capitol Hill named Freedom. And this was this represent the emancipation, and Philip Reed was freed when Abraham Lincoln did the emancipation.
Yeah, when he signed in the Emancipation Proclamation.
Yeah.
Yes. And then let me show y'all what he looked like. Let me show y'all what he looked like. Hold on. I got y'all. Philip Reed. Give me a second. This is what Philip Reed looks like, y'all. Let me share. I'm gonna just share my screen for a little bit. Just give me a hold on. Just give me a second, y'all. I'm just trying to give me a second, everyone.
It's all good.
Since Diamond's doing that, who makes the best fried chicken?
Oh, here. Come on. Really?
Popeyes.
Really?
Definitely Popeyes.
Oh, really? We talking about black-owned stuff, y'all.
The lady from
Louisiana Fast.
All right, but here goes, y'all. Here goes. All right, so here go, y'all. This is Philip Reed right here. This is what he looks like.
Wow.
This is the man right here that built the top. Well, he helped build the top of the Capitol Hill, the statue of freedom. It's crazy how the top of the Capitol Hill is a black symbol. And then last year, when Trump's people talking about this, when they stormed the Capitol Hill, they like, well, this is our what do you say? The Capitol Hill is ours, but they don't even know how black people built the Capitol Hill.
Yeah,
on top of that statue is a black statue.
I mean, it's unsurprising because historically speaking, black people have created wondrous architects. The most prominent structures that come to mind, of course, are the Great Pyramids in Giza. Those alone are a testament to that. The Sphinx in Egypt as well.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't really think of any other prominent structures at the moment, but I mean, he's descended from a people that created that. So it's unsurprising that he can create something as beautiful as the Freedom Monument.
Absolutely. Speaking of the emancipation, right? Even though we have Juneteenth, I wanna set a fact real quick. On January 1st was when African Americans was freed from America.
Freed
not
from
But they was free. They was freed from being enslaved in America. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
Okay. January 1st.
January 1st. I'm serious.
What year?
It was. Give me a second. It was. I don't want to say the wrong year.
Of course.
Next, you know, they be like, "Oh no, you got the."
You got the wrong answer.
Exactly right. It was January 1st, 1863.
Okay.
Yep. 1863. But we celebrate Juneteenth but June 19th was the day when African Americans in Texas knew about it. I think it was 2 years after that.
That's crazy.
Right, and that's why Juneteenth is celebrated. They were the last to know that they were freed, and on that day, technically, all African Americans were informed of their freedom when they were informed. Lastly,
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It was in Texas in 1865.
Oh, 2
Yep.
years. Wow.
Yep. Easy, right?
Yeah.
So while we celebrate Happy New Year,
we should really celebrate Happy Emancipation.
Yeah.
That's the real Juneteenth.
Happy freedom.
Yep. So that's a fact.
What's messed up, even after we was free, you had a whole battle to face. You know, with segregation and stuff like that. It sucks, you know.
Of course.
And that battle is still going on to this day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's no real equality yet.
And
but
but
you know, I don't even know if we'll see true equality in our lifetimes, but I have faith that one day America will be a place of real equality, true equality.
You think so?
I'm with Nine on that. Because right now, I'm gonna be honest, this day and age, especially with technology, people is becoming more bold in how they feel and stuff like that. Before, it seemed like it's getting better because people are just solid. But I feel like with the older generation dying out, with this new generation, hopefully we teach the new generation properly, because all about self-taught.
Yeah.
I don't know, because if you talk about equality, is there really a such thing as equality? Like,
when you think about once upon a time, there was.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, it was equality. Think about the natives that was just chilling here.
Yeah.
You know, so we may not be alive to see it, but I think one day my grandkids might see it. But you know,
yeah,
hopefully.
And the signs for that is just look at the history of the United States. The United States is a relatively young country. We're not even 300 years old yet. And throughout that history, we have gone from slavery all the way up to the Civil Rights Bill being passed. I think historically, we've been inching slowly but surely towards equality. I think the next step outside of legislation being pushed to ensure that we are equal is an economic push to ensure that we have some sort of economic footing so that Black people can, you know, have the power, have the economic power themselves to stand on their own 2 feet. You know, so I think that's the next battle that's going to come for this century.
I feel like some states are doing that, like Georgia, for example.
Like what do they like? What do you mean?
Just like the lifestyle for us, because if you realize, especially a lot of Black Americans, I feel like we are pushed in a corner.
Yes,
when it comes to living. You know, think about the projects and like low income neighborhoods. It's like we're all squeezed up in there. But with Georgia, for example, people's flourishing, people's building. Like they basically make it Wakanda low key.
Yes.
You know? And it's beautiful to see that. Hopefully it can spread out through the whole country.
Yes. There are even some towns in some states I think it was North Carolina, but don't quote me on that. That are actually offering reparations to the black residents of certain towns.
Okay. Hey, didn't we just get a black mayor in New York?
Yeah, Eric Adams.
Yeah,
Eric
so
Adams. He's the second black mayor of New York.
we're making steps. It's not the biggest steps, but look, we have our first black female vice president. We had Obama, Eric Adams. Like, we're making steps.
So another thing I do want to talk about is the second. A black man is on the back of the $2 bill. I'm talking about if you look at the back of, let me pull it up for you guys.
Why do you think
you look at the back of the $2 bill?
Mm-hmm.
It is, his name is John Hopkins. John Hopkins. I believe. No, I'm wrong.
Uh-oh.
My fault, y'all. John, give me a second. Listen, I don't want to spread false information, y'all. I'm telling you, John Hanson is his name.
Okay.
And he was in the back. He was in the back of the $2 bill with the rest, like George Washington. Was it George Washington? George Washington, and all those people that was running America.
Isn't they put Harriet Tubman on some currency?
Well, they was going to. I think it's still in the works, but that I don't know about.
And Maya Angelou, she's on the quarter now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
See progress.
Yeah.
See progress. That's progress.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now we need Nelson Mandela on the $100 bill.
I think they're gonna stick with just Black Americans. Prominent Black Americans. I would like to see Sojourner Truth on some form of currency. Frederick Douglass, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Luther King.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think in terms of hierarchy, in terms of who probably should be on the form of currency, Martin Luther King is probably number one, and I think who would be number two on that list?
What about Malcolm X?
No, he's never going to be on currency. He's never going to get on.
His race was too low.
See, here's something you got to remember. A lot of our leaders, what you're talking about, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, they all had to sacrifice something in order to get to where we are today. So a lot of us talk about, like, where's our Black leaders today? This is, and everybody talking about, if you do this and you do that, there's consequences. Of course, there's always going to be consequences of something.
Of course, for anything.
But is it going to be worth it?
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta, what do you think about Malcolm X, Martin Luther King? They all was hated for something. It's crazy how they was hated for something, and now they're being loved for sacrificing their lives.
Yeah. I think when Martin Luther King died, he had an over 50% disapproval rate.
Because of, like I said, he was like majority hated Martin Luther King.
He was the face of a movement
back then.
The majority of Americans did not approve of.
Exactly. But now, look at now in this year, they love him. Come on now. You got people in other race, other colors talking about, Martin Luther King was a great man, blah, blah, blah. When you go back then, I bet you those same people or will probably hate him.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure even some of our people, it's like, nah, we can't agree with you. We don't see that vision. You
Facts.
know, when you talk about
Facts.
seeing little black boys and girls playing with each other, stuff like that. They say, bro, that's never gonna happen. What are you talking about? Fast forward now,
Exactly.
look at us.
So when you disagree, you can disagree with something. So let's say if we have a black leader today, that black leader is going to be the most hated, and even black folks are going to hate him. This like in this generation, if we
I
have a
guess,
black leader.
I guess because we look at them like, bro, why try to be a daredevil? Just sit down like the rest of us and just deal with it. But we need people like that.
Yeah.
You know, especially like I'm happy in media now to push him more with blackness. Like for example, heroes, superheroes. I'm seeing more representation out there for black superheroes more than ever.
Yep.
Mhm.
And children especially need that. Because all these times, think about when we was kids, we didn't have much to look up to.
Yep.
You understand? Something that we can relate to. And it's beautiful. Now they're even doing it with black females in media.
Yep.
And it's
Mhm.
powerful. Like those whole things really come really far,
Yep.
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. There we go. Facts.
And look at Black Panther's one of the best selling movies of all time.
Yeah.
I
It's like
mean,
number two, number three. Like,
yeah.
And
Come
it was
on.
and it
A
was
black
Blade.
director.
Believe it or not, it was Blade, the movie that came out in the '90s, that was responsible for putting the Marvel franchise back on the map. If it
yeah,
wasn't for Blade, you wouldn't have the Avengers. You know.
Yep.
exactly. No matter how much you feel about the Blade movies, the original ones, it's up thanks to Wesley Snipes and shit, you know? We have what we have.
Word.
You know?
Nah, that movie was when I was young. It was gory, but it was a very good movie.
I
Yeah.
liked it.
It's
Spawn
a,
didn't age that well, but I
huh?
liked it. Spawn
Oh yeah, Spawn didn't age well at all.
didn't age well, but I still like it, you know? But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I just have to
Yep.
say that.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's a piece
So
Chadwick Boseman. Gotta say that too.
more in black things, as in black symbols, is the back of the dollar bill. As you can see,
Mhm.
like, come on, you have the pyramid. Hold on. If you look at the back of the dollar bill,
I think your
sorry.
computer's kind of racist. It doesn't want you to say
Yeah, trying to say, hey, yo, bro, Illuminati.
Hold on, I got you. I got you real quick. Hold on. All right,
If
hold
you
on.
can go to black,
Hold on.
I know what to tell you.
All right, so let's go. I had to come on. So look, back of the dollar bill
Mhm.
is a black symbol. A
Pyramid.
black symbol. You have the pyramid, you have the eye of Horus, and
Yeah.
then you have the eagle. That is a black symbol.
Mm.
And then there's numeral codes. I'm not gonna get into all that but pretty much it's a black the back of the dollar bill is a black
Well,
symbol.
give us like a little background on it. You don't got to go super deep, but
Okay. Do you want me to go super deep or
nah,
like
just like just the surface level.
okay, so you should everyone should know what the eye of Horus here.
Mhm.
Which is the eye of Ra. That's back when Egyptian times, where the eye of Horus represents, like, the third eye, the pineal gland, and everything. So a pyramid, we already know about pyramids.
Yeah.
Pyramids, we built them and everything. Now, even though this is the eagle of the United States, technically we were the original eagle that had um original eagle, which is, if you really want to get technically, it has 13 leaves, 13, everything presents 13. If you look at the pyramid, Novus Ordo Seclorum, I'm not gonna get into all that, but pretty much yeah. The back of a dollar bill is a black symbol. So
Beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful.
Yep. everything of what you see in the back of a dollar bill is really a black symbol. Like if you look at the $5 bill, really black people architect that, build that. Like if you just look at it, just look at the back of the dollar bill, you see like, oh, black people built that. Okay.
Yeah.
You feel me? So even if you look at $20 bill, $5 bill, $10, like black people built that. Come on. So yeah, we could talk on and on about black culture, black this. So yeah, what people don't know is when you go to New York, Central Park, when you walk in Central Park, when you walking with your lady and everything, walk in the park, people don't know that used to be a black community before it was named Central Park, called Seneca Village. Look that up.
That's like in the 1800s, I believe, that village was there, something like that.
Seneca Village was 1825.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a black community for us black Americans before it was destroyed, and called it Central Park.
Yeah, America has a history of moving people of color around. I mean, you got the Trail of Tears for Native Americans. Of course, you have the Oklahoma bombings in the 1920s. For the modern day examples of that, they do it in subtle economic ways in the form of gentrification. They take these potentially valuable properties, reform them, hike up the prices, and because of the economic situation black people are in, which is also by design, they're slowly pushed out of their homes. So
it's happening right now.
The destruction of communities is as old as America.
So that leads to a solution of economics, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why economics is important. What do you think? Why we had a real estate investor last episode that drop gems about real estate? What do you think? Why you had people like Sade Burrell giving you the game? Like this is we got that talk about mental health. Like this is something that's what we are known about, because this podcast is really out dropping gems to keep you informed. That way it can create value in your life.
Yeah.
Facts.
And also make you feel like you're not lonely out there.
Yep.
Not knowing certain things and stuff like that. Because sadly, a lot of things wasn't taught to us in the school system.
Oh, don't get me started on the school system.
Being made in Texas, and that's a different story, but I'm not going to go to the education system.
Don't get me started on the school system.
This just saying it's very unfair. But,
Yep. Don't get me started on
give you guys the tools and help. We learn ourselves.
But just remember that we was taught to work. We wasn't taught to think. So if you were taught to do critical thinking, then you'll be able to create value to other people. So, but if you get people that just work and work hard, then that's what's going to happen when you get people to just work hard and not just think. That's what America was built for workers. They want people to work. They don't want people to think, create ideas, create values for people, buildings for people. Because technically speaking, if you want to go back in the day, what we have now, this is why people say like, oh, we are the, greater generations that have it, easy to inform us, because back then they wasn't taught all this stuff about real estate, financial literacy, how to budget money, and all of that.
Yeah. That's very true. Yeah.
So that's why we have these things in place for us. So now it's time for us to build. What do you think? Why I have like a quote saying, "I refuse to turn my vision to ashes." It's because you have a mind, and you're going to create it. You're gonna have this idea, and this idea is going to turn into a reality. Yeah, you could talk
It's
like
kind of funny. When you think about it, it's like the system is taking our creative bug away from us.
Yes.
You know, because when Black people come to doing stuff and want to create things, we're great at it.
Yes.
With this whole, like how you said earlier, like back in the day, especially like my mom's generation, there's taught at school to go to college, get a job, retire, you die. Hate to say it like that, but it's true.
Yeah.
And you see now the message is a bit different. It's like, yeah, that's cool, you could do that, but now you got a whole bunch of options.
Yeah,
it's true. Like a podcast, for example, this is a big option. It's basically a radio station, low-key.
Yeah. Exactly what a podcast is supposed to do.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So the last thing I'm going to inform our audience that is Black owned but isn't known is in upstate New York, West Nyack. I'm gonna share my screen on it. So if you look, it is so y'all know the Palisades Mall, right? I'm sorry. You know what? Y'all know the Palisades Mall, right? In upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to the Palisades Mall, where like majority of the people be at, what they don't know is in the back next to it, there is a Black-owned cemetery right here.
Oh, wow.
Mount Moore Cemetery, Black-owned.
Okay.
Yep.
So they built
right here.
So hold on. Did they build a mall on top of that cemetery?
No. No. So this is what happened. The cemetery was there first, but then the Palisades. But if you look it up, the Palisades Mall, when they was building it, the owners or the brokers of the Palisades Mall was talking to the owner of the cemetery, tried to give the owner of the cemetery money, just to, money to expand the parking lot, and he said no. I don't want your money, because it's all about morals. It's all about the moral. It's not about the money. It's about the moral.
Okay.
Nobody, like majority of people don't know that. A Black-owned cemetery next to the Palisades Mall.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
If you look it up. Look who the owners are, everything. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what that takes away for Black History Month. It's a lot of things that in our culture that it's so many we can be taught. Yeah. So Nyron and TC, do y'all have anything to give away for Black History Month or no?
Enjoy your culture.
Absolutely.
Embrace it. Don't worry what people's going to say and how to make you feel. And I want to point out, I joke with it sometimes, but I caught myself stop doing this. The whole light skin, dark skin kind of thing, let's just stop. We're Black.
Yeah.
Why bring each other down based on the shade of our blackness? We're Black. You're going to be viewed as Black from everybody else. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Just embrace it. Love it. Because this is ours. This is a black experience is the only experience that we can only experience.
Yes.
Everybody else think they can, but they can't. They may want to try to copy it and stuff like that, but they would never understand or feel how to be black.
Yes.
That's
There
all
you
I
go.
gotta say.
There you go. What about you, Nyron? You got anything?
Oh, well, Rich, you're not the only one that can drop gems. I got a couple gems in my back pocket.
Talk to me.
The figure I want to talk about, she's in
You could share your screen too, Nyron, if you want.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, let me try that. I gotta delete my X-rated pornos before I share my screen. Just give me a second.
Five. Stop it. Please stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Okay. Just give me a moment. Let me see. Share screen. Okay. The woman I want to talk about, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. This is the woman I want to talk about. Her name is Octavia Butler. She is a science fiction writer and responsible for classic novels such as Kindred, Parable of the Sower, Wild Seed. The reason I want to talk about her is because she's fairly unknown, and it's criminal that she's unknown because her works are brilliant. Mm-hmm. She is also considered one of the founders of a relatively new genre of literature called Afrofuturism, in which you see these prominent Black characters, usually in some sort of technological landscape in the future. And I think that's where the future of African literature is headed, quite frankly. Anyway, just to give you an example of some of the quality of her work, the book I just finished reading from her, Kindred, involved a Black female protagonist, and she is transported to the past. From 1976, she's transported into the past during the time of slavery in the antebellum South in Maryland. And she is tasked with this complicated situation because she has to save her white slave-owning ancestor in order for her to live.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a complicated issue because whenever she finds her white ancestor in life-threatening situations, she's the one that's responsible for saving him. And under the conditions of the antebellum South, she's also a slave when she's transported from 1966 to the early 1800s. So it's a very interesting read. The majority of the protagonists of her books are Black women, and they're strong, intelligent. They're depicted in a way that isn't always appreciated in other works of literature. Mm-hmm. And in the world of science fiction, for the majority of her lifetime, she sort of stood alone as the only person of color and as the only Black woman. As the only Black woman who was responsible for creating such works. She's a brilliant mind, a brilliant author. I just wish people knew more about her. You can find several of her books for free on Kindle, and on Amazon, on Kindle Unlimited and Amazon Prime. So take advantage of her. Take advantage of her work. It's amazing.
It's sad to see she died young too.
She died at the age of 58. She died at the age of 58 from, I think she had, wait, I don't have to think. I have the internet right here. Just give me a moment. I'll tell you exactly how she passed away. Blah, 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 blah.
So all the audio listeners out there, if you are listening, but we are sharing our screens a lot in this bonus episode. So if you get a chance, look at it on YouTube when you get a chance.
Okay. So unfortunately, Miss Butler passed away from a fatal stroke. Um, and when she had her stroke, she suffered some head injuries, and just like that, she was taken away from us. But she left us with a plethora of different works. She's written multiple trilogies and short stories, and I just can't emphasize enough how much of a fan I am of hers. And I think anybody who's interested in sci-fi should give her a chance. She'll definitely blow you away. Her work isn't that complicated. They're pretty quick. It's a pretty quick read. For example, Kindred was only like 250 pages. I
Oh,
was
that's
able,
cool. Yeah.
yeah, I was able to get through it in like 3 days. So please check out Octavia Butler.
Absolutely.
That sounds like
Okay.
a good Netflix special.
Oh,
Nah,
all the books. I haven't read a book of hers that I don't think belongs on the big screen.
I,
They
I
all.
I I think they should do like a Netflix special on her, or like
Mm-hmm,
a story on her or something, whether it's Hulu or something,
Does
Apple
it give her
TV.
flowers?
Yeah, definitely.
mm-hmm.
I think so.
That's
Yeah.
lovely. Like, that's
Yep.
cool.
Yep. All right, Naira. Anything else before we because I think that's it for us.
All right, all right. I'll just leave you guys with a couple of other, not even words of wisdom. Just my thoughts on what it means to be black. Embrace your blackness. Love your blackness. Being black in this world comes with a lot of different caveats, but they're not all negative. We are diverse. We are as black as Lupita Nyong'o, and we are also as black as Rashida Jones. You know, we come in all shapes and forms and sizes, but we are all one. There's 2 billion of us on the planet, whether we were born in Africa or not. And never forget that. Embrace your blackness. We're all family. We're all one. And we're all recovering from the same tragedy that befell us, that was slavery. So until we unify, we'll never really completely heal.
Absolutely.
Well said.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just remember there are going to be a lot of folks that's our skin color that's not going to agree with us.
That's okay.
Okay, just let you know that
I
there's
think what's important is who we touch, because we're not going to touch everybody.
exactly yes.
I think that's what matters the
Exactly.
most.
What matters the most is us.
And
It's not going to be everyone, but it's going to be most of us.
One thing too, I want to say, people should embrace more Black activities, especially like go to the museum during Black History Month. They have a lot of exhibits and showings teaching you about the Black history and the arts behind Black history and stuff. Like, there's a lot of things we could do, especially support Black businesses as well.
Speaking of that, right? I always go somewhere. I always plan in February and for Black History Month. Uh, we always go to somewhere that is represent blackness. Like Nairon, we went. What was it? 3 years ago, we went to when was it when we went to see the Harriet Tubman Underground Railroad? When was that?
In Maryland. Maryland.
That was how long was that? Like 3-4 years ago?
I think that was 2 years ago. It was either last year or the year before.
Yes.
Mhm.
So and then the year after that, we went to I can't I think we went to Atlanta somewhere to see the civil rights culture, I believe. So pretty much what I'm saying is every year for Black History Month, me personally, I plan and I go with my friends, TC, Nyron, and other friends that me personally, that we go to celebrate Black History Month. So we go to museums, support Black businesses. This is the stuff that we do. I remember I went to Alabama and I saw I forgot what it's called, but it has all the names of the African Americans that was lynched. I really forgot what it's called. Hold on, let me pull it up.
You know what sounds like we need to do? A DC Centers Africa trip.
You got
Diamond, of course.
If you got Africa money, I'm down.
He can supply it. He's the boss man.
If our listeners want to donate to the Africa Fund, please.
The Ghana Fund.
Donate.
Hold on, let me see. I'm trying to see what it's called. It's in Alabama, but it's I think it's called the Lynching Museum.
That's great.
It's pretty much how the National Memorial Peace and Justice. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Right.
Yes. The National Memorial Peace and Justice. When I went there, it was amazing. I highly recommend it. Definitely. And then they have another museum. They have 3 museums. They have the lynching, they have the mass incarceration, and the legacy museum. So yeah, I check it out. Please check it out. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I think that's pretty much it on my end. Yeah.
All right.
So anything else before we close out?
Nope. I got nothing.
That's really it.
All right. That's the end of the episode, y'all. Huh?
I'm black and I'm proud. That's it.
Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. There you go. So that's the end. That's the end of it. You already know. We out.
Happy Black History Month, guys. Be safe.
History Month.